Hello there, very good evening and welcome to the news tonight here on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tracy Shilshi and in the next 30 minutes I'll be getting in the day's top stories from India and across the world. Let's start with the headlines. One more terrorist shot dead by security forces in Poonch district, taking the death toll to 4. Home Minister Rajnath Singh directs security forces to crack down on those instigating violence in the valley. Violence erupts in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu after Supreme Court modifies earlier order on the Kaveri issue. Karnataka is told to release 12,000 cusecs of water instead of 15,000 per day till the 20th of September. Jyoti Prasad Rajkhowa is removed from the post of Governor of Arunachal Pradesh. President takes the decision after centre says that his continuance is untenable. Consumer inflation falls to 5-month low of 5.05% in August. Softening food prices raise hopes of a rate cut from the Reserve Bank in the coming months. And the Union Cabinet approves formation of a GST Council to be chaired by Union Finance Minister Arun Jaitley. New council to decide on tax rate and taxes to be subsumed and exempted from the GST. The top story this evening, the Supreme Court today gave partial relief to Karnataka, modifying its September 5th order on the Kaveri River water sharing issue. The top court has now directed the state to release 12,000 cusecs of water to Tamil Nadu as opposed to 15,000 cusecs that it had ordered earlier. But the order failed to pacify protesters on the streets of Karnataka, especially Bangalore and also Tamil Nadu. Here's a detailed report.
Violence erupted in parts of Karnataka on Monday, soon after the Supreme Court directed the state government to release 12,000 cusecs of Kaveri water to Tamil Nadu every day till the 20th of September. Pro-Kannada activists took to the streets to protest the order, blocking traffic and damaging public property. The protesters burnt vehicles with Tamil Nadu registration plates on the Bengaluru-Mysuru highway. Security was stepped up as public anger spilled on the roads. Bus services from Karnataka to Tamil Nadu were immediately halted. Metro services in Bengaluru were also stopped for a brief while. All schools and colleges in and around Bengaluru were closed early.
This is not somebody's making. This is the Supreme Court judgment. In fact, Karnataka got a little relief by reducing 3,000 cusecs of water. But we will definitely appeal to Supervisory Committee. We will appeal to the Supreme Court once again. But I only appeal to people in Karnataka, people in Tamil Nadu to maintain peace and order.
Chief Minister Siddaramaiah convened an emergency meeting with top officials and appealed to people not to resort to violence.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಸಂತೋಷ್ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಬ್ಬರ ಮೇಲೆ ಗಲಾಟೆ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಕೇಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅವ್ರು ಯಾರು ಗಲಾಟೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಕೇಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎರಡೂ ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳು ಸೌಹಾರ್ದತೆ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ಥರದ್ದು ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂಡುದು. ನಾನು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಒತ್ತಾಯ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಯಲಲಿತಾ ಅವರು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಸ್ಪದ ಕೊಡಕೂಡದು, ನಾವು ಕೂಡ ಈ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸ್ಪದ ಕೊಡ.
The violence in Bengaluru evoked a response of equal measure in Tamil Nadu as well. Kannadigas in Chennai were attacked with stones and petrol bombs. The Karnataka Bank in Puducherry was ransacked by volunteers of a Tamil fringe outfit. The war of words between leaders of both states also escalated, each accusing the other of not adhering to the court's order on water sharing.
Our farmers' feeling is that we are not having water for our crop, and there is a problem for the drinking water also. For that purpose, the feelings of the Karnataka people have to understand by the people of the Tamil Nadu, and Tamil Nadu farmers also understand all these things.
The farmers of Karnataka will totally suffer this year. Even to take one semi-dry crop, whereas Tamil Nadu, under the garb of prescriptive right, they want to enjoy 3 crops.
In Karnataka, they must also think about our farmers. When Supreme Court says open the water, Do you think Supreme Court doesn't know that how much of water storage Karnataka has? And they can give. See, a Supreme Court cannot give a statement to one state, one statement, another state, another statement. For the both state, they will take care of it.
The Kaveri Supervisory Committee also met in Delhi to decide on the quantum of water to be released to Tamil Nadu and other states after the 20th of September. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And now to the north, where firing resumed Monday morning in Jammu and Kashmir's Poonch, where 3 terrorists were killed in an encounter with security forces yesterday. Home Minister Rajnath Singh has directed security forces to crack down on those instigating violence and bring peace in the valley.
The under-construction mini-secretariat in Poonch town resounded with gunshots and mortar gunfire for the second day running. In the ongoing encounter between security forces and militants, security forces gunned down one more militant, taking the toll to 4 since Sunday. 3 militants and a policeman were killed on Sunday, including a police officer.
For the last, since yesterday, there is an encounter which is going on in Poonch, and as of now 4 terrorists have been neutralized successfully, and the operation is still in progress. Time cannot be stipulated. As I told you, we do not want to have any casualty, and we want to be deliberate about it, and we want to ensure that there is no collateral damage, and it will take time, and numbers also I do not like to speculate. The operation is still going on.
Forces are doing a very commendable job, and the operation would be successful and would culminate successfully very soon. But what is even more gratifying is that the local population there has a very high morale, and they are absolutely in a cooperative mode.
Security forces are engaged in a day-long twin encounters with 4 terrorists holed up at 2 places near since Sunday morning. After the fallout of the all-party meet last week in the valley, political parties feel that the centre is solely responsible for the unrest in the valley. The delegation also felt a strong message must be given to infiltrators and neighbouring Pakistan.
इतना तो साफ जाहिर है कि ये यहाँ की अमन और शांति में खलबली डालने के लिए आए हैं। टारगेट क्या है ये तो आपने देख ही लिया, काफ़ी वाइटल इंस्टॉलेशंस है यहाँ पे।
भारत सरकार वहाँ पर फेल रही है, जम्मू कश्मीर की सरकार भी वहाँ पर फेल रही है, और जिन समूहों को अप्रोच करने के लिए, एड्रेस करने के लिए संसदीय समूह ने कहा था, उनसे अभी तक कोई संपर्क किसी ने नहीं साधा।
Pakistan is hell-bent to ensure that Kashmir does not come down to a normal state. We must tell Pakistan in no uncertain terms that what we have done so far is only extended moral support to people of Baltistan, POK, Gilgit and Balochistan. If Pakistan continues to persist with its activities, then India will have to upgrade its moral stance to also cover political, diplomatic and financial, so that the other side also feels the pain of their misdeeds.
We congratulate the paramilitary forces for acting effectively and telling the militants and their handlers their position that this will not be tolerated by India.
Home Minister Rajnath Singh directed security forces to crack down on those instigating violence and leading the stone-pelting mobs in Kashmir. He chaired a high-level meeting with National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and top security officers and said that normalcy should be brought back within a week in the valley. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The Union Cabinet today approved the formation of GST Council that will be chaired by Union Finance Minister Arun Jaitley and include the state ministers as members. The GST Council will decide on the tax rate, recommend taxes to be subsumed and exempted from the GST, and model central, state and integrated GST laws. It will also decide if GST will have different slabs, a lower rate for essentials and a higher one for what are seen as luxury goods and one for services. The first meeting of the GST Council will be held on the 22nd and the 23rd of September.
With respect to the exemption limit or the rate structure or the model GST law or the principles that govern the place of supply rules, threshold limits or floor rates, whatever, all these decisions will be taken by the GST Council.
And the Union Cabinet on Monday also decided to raise buffer stock of pulses to 20 lakh tons. The decision was taken at a meeting of the Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. It said that specific variety of pulses, their respective quantities for the buffer stock and their procurement will be decided based on price and availability position, both domestic and global. Government agencies will now procure 10 lakh tons of pulses from farmers, while 10 lakh tons will be imported. Production of pulses had remained low in the past 2 crop years due to a drought, resulting in spike of retail rates. However, production is expected to rise this year following a good monsoon, high market prices and sharp increase in the minimum support price. Meanwhile, retail inflation eased to a 5-month low of 5.05% in August, helped by smaller rises in food prices, raising hopes of an interest cut in the next month's policy review. The fall in food inflation and the fuel index dragged down the overall numbers to within the comfort zone of the central bank, which has targeted 5% inflation by March 2017. Economists had expected annual retail inflation to come in at 5.5% last month compared to 6.07% in July. On the other hand, industrial output contracted by 2.4% in July from a year earlier, mainly dragged down by lower production of capital goods and consumer non-durables. In other news, Jyoti Prasad Rajkhowa was today sacked as the governor of Arunachal Pradesh. Rashtrapati Bhavan communique said that President Pranab Mukherjee asked Meghalaya Governor V. Shanmuganathan to discharge the functions of the governor of Arunachal Pradesh in addition to his own duties until regular arrangements are made. Rajkhowa was appointed the governor of Arunachal Pradesh on the 12th of May 2015. He was the first gubernatorial appointee of the Modi government. Last week, Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh conveyed to the President that Rajkhowa's continuance in the post had become untenable after the Supreme Court's observations against him over the dismissal of the Congress government in the state. Rajkhowa had earlier refused to step down despite the central government asking him to put in his papers after the Supreme Court strictures. And in Uttar Pradesh, Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav on Monday sacked Mining Minister Gayatri Prajapati and Panchayati Raj Minister Rajkishore Singh over charges of corruption. Yadav said is in fact said to be unhappy with Prajapati over allegations of promoting illegal mining, while allegations of land grabbing and corruption were levelled against Singh. The decision was also communicated to Governor Ram Naik. The sacking comes days after the High Court rejected the Samajwadi Party government's petition to withdraw an order for a CBI probe into the alleged illegal mining in the state. The opposition parties, however, described the sacking of the ministers as mere eyewash ahead of the 2017 assembly elections.
देखिए, चीफ मिनिस्टर का प्रोरोगेटिव होता है। अगर वो अपने किसी मिनिस्टर की परफॉर्मेंस से उसको तसल्ली नहीं है या उसने कोई ऐसी गलती की है तो उनको ये इख्तियार है, इसलिए उन्होंने ऐसा किया है। लेकिन आप जो कह रहे हैं कि क्लीन अप ड्राइव है, ये सफाई करने की मुहिम है, तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि इससे कोई सफाई मानी जाएगी। ये तो उनका प्रोरोगेटिव उन्होंने इस्तेमाल किया, लेकिन इससे समाजवादी पार्टी की कोई इमेज बड़ी ज़बरदस्त बन जाएगी, ऐसा मुझे नहीं लगता है।
With a quick break here, we'll be back with the international and sports news in a bit. Stay with us.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Welcome back. Now, international news. And former British Prime Minister David Cameron on Monday announced his resignation as MP with immediate effect. The resignation comes nearly 3 months after he quit as the Prime Minister in June following the UK's vote to leave the European Union in a national referendum. His resignation as MP will pave the way for a by-election in Oxfordshire, the seat of Witney. The 49-year-old Conservative leader had initially said that he would continue as MP until the next general elections. He has represented Witney since 2001, becoming Conservative leader in 2005 and serving as Prime Minister for 6 years from 2010. North Korea has reportedly geared up for another nuclear test, claims South Korea. Its defense ministry spokesman claimed that the rogue nation was ready to undertake a sixth test at any time. Meanwhile, North Korea's Friday's test sparked criticism from the United States as well as neighbors China and Japan and other countries, and they are now pushing for more stronger sanctions against Pyongyang. Here are the details.
South Korea on Monday warned that North Korea is ready to conduct another nuclear test anytime soon. A defense ministry spokesman said an unused tunnel at the Punggye-ri test site could be a sixth explosion. On Friday, North Korea carried out what it called its largest nuclear test. The widely condemned test escalated tensions and led to fierce condemnation from South Korea. South Korean president also held a meeting with leaders of the ruling and opposition parties in Seoul to call for political unity North Korea's act of nuclear defiance.
한미 정보 당국이 북한이 추가 핵실험을 할 가능성과 관련해서 풍계리 지역에서는 추가 핵실험을 할 수 있는 준비가 항상 돼 있다라고 지금 현재 평가를 하고 있습니다.
The Friday's test sparked criticism from many countries. The UN Security Council agreed to start drawing up new sanctions against North Korea. The United States, Britain and France pushed for a 15-member body to impose new sanctions that the North Korea called laughable.
무의미한 제재 타령을 그냥 외워대며 동분서주하는 오바마패의 행동이야말로 정말 가소롭기 그지없다. 미국에 가중되는 핵전쟁 위협으로부터 우리의 존엄과 생존권을 보위하고 진정한 평화를 수호하기 위한 국가 핵무력의 질 양쪽 강화 조치는
China, however, said sanctions alone can't solve the North Korean nuclear issue and that unilateral action can only lead to a dead end.
那么事实其实已经一再的证明，单靠制裁无法解决问题，半岛相关各方的安全关切都应该而且也只能以符合各方利益的方式加以解决。那么任何仅从自身利益出发采取的单方面的行动都是死胡同，只会加剧局势紧张，使问题复杂化。 最终不仅无助于解决自身的安全关切，可能反而会使相关目标呢更加难以实现。
Meanwhile, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe said that the country's nuclear tests were absolutely unacceptable.
北朝鮮がわずか9ヶ月の間に2度にわたって核実験を強行しました。断じて容認できません。国際社会の非難の声を無視し、弾道ミサイル発射も繰り返しています。 先月、今月と立て続けに我が国の EEZ にミサイルが撃ち込まれました。前例のない事態であります。
Pyongyang has carried out 2 nuclear tests this year, as well as several tests of powerful missiles. Both are banned by existing sanctions. While doubts remain over North Korea's claim that it can carry out a nuclear attack, experts say the recent progress is worrying. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And now let's take you through some more international news updates in Global Buzz. US Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton cancelled her campaign trip to California after being diagnosed with pneumonia. She fell ill at a 9/11 ceremony on Sunday and videos showed her collapsing near her car. While her team initially said that she was exhausted from the heat, doctors later confirmed it was pneumonia. Clinton was due to leave for California today for a 2-day trip. A Russian fleet arrived at a naval port in South China's Guangdong province today for the 8th-day naval drill. Named Joint Sea 2016, the drill will draw the participation of naval surface ships, submarines, fixed-wing aircraft, shipborne helicopters, marine corps and amphibious armoured equipment from both navies. Together, the naval forces will undertake defence, rescue and anti-submarine operations, in addition to joint assault on island and other combat practice. 27 people were injured in a car bomb explosion near local government offices in Turkey's southeastern city of Van. The blast hit some 200 meters from the Van provincial governor's office, ripping through the city's central district and setting buildings and cars aflame. Security sources suspect the Kurdistan Workers' Party to be behind the attack. However, there was no immediate claim of responsibility. 3 people died in US's Nevada after a plane carrying them plummeted into the parking of the Reno Tahoe International Airport. No one on the ground was injured in the crash. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. The plane was reportedly attempting to fly to San Carlos Airport in the San Francisco Bay Area, California. A female bus driver died and at least 17 teens and adults were taken to a hospital after a school bus crashed near the Denver International Airport. The police are investigating the cause of the accident. The bus was reportedly carrying high school football players and coaches from Broomfield Legacy High School who were returning from a game in California. Staying with the US, but in sports, in the US Open men's final, Switzerland's Stan Wawrinka beat world number 1 Novak Djokovic to win his first US Open and the third Grand Slam title. The number 3 seeded Wawrinka won 6-7, 6-4, 7-5, 6-3 to add to his Australian Open and French Open titles.
And that's how it happens. Stan Wawrinka wins his third Grand Slam and the 2016 US Open.
Stan Wawrinka produced a stunning display to beat world number 1 and defending champion Novak Djokovic to claim his first US Open title and third Grand Slam.
Well, the question has to be asked, tennis fan, and raise your hand.
The world number 3 Swiss, who beat Djokovic in the 2015 French Open final, fell behind in the first set after being broken in the third game. He started to find his range as he closed in on a 2-5 deficit to take the set to tie break. The world number 1 Serb then raised his game to claim the first set. In the second, Wawrinka got an early break and raised to 4-1 lead, but Djokovic broke back to level the set at 4-4. The Swiss then produced some sensational points to break once more and take the set 6-4. With a set apiece, the match seemed evenly poised as both players continued to break each other's serve in some high-quality tennis. And as the set seemed headed for another tie-break, the Swiss increased pressure on Djokovic, forcing him to make errors and concede the set. In the fourth set, Djokovic showed signs of some physical discomfort, and much to Wawrinka's irritation, the Serb called for the trainer and took a medical timeout while trailing 1-3.
Conjecture. Now, you can understand if Stan Wawrinka finds this all a bit odd and wants to talk to Brian early about this.
However, it was not long before the Swiss took the set and the match 6-7, 6-4, 7-5, 6-3 and became the oldest US Open men's champion since 35-year-old Ken Rosewall in 1970.
6-7, 6-4, 7-5, 6-3.
This is amazing. I came here without expecting, without putting goal to win it, but every time I step on the court, I was trying to win every match. I think I play quite a lot of tennis these 2 weeks. I'm completely empty. I had to bring everything I had today against Novak. Was so much emotion with the crowd, with the atmosphere, with that stadium. This is something I never had before, so thank you so much. It's been an amazing night again.
For Djokovic, who was vying for his third Grand Slam of the year, after wins in the Australian and the French Open, it was a 9th loss at Majors final.
We both felt, the demanding match that we played today physically, but he came on top, as I said, in the decisive moment. He was a better player. He was tougher mentally. He knew what to do, and I was just unlucky in some moments, and that's it. That's sport. A few points decide a winner on this level.
With 3 out of 3 wins in Grand Slam finals, Wawrinka has once again broken the hegemony of the Big Four: Djokovic, Nadal, Federer and Murray. The 31-year-old gained prominence late in his career, winning his first Grand Slam, the Australian Open, after 12 years of professional tennis. He followed it up with the French Open title in 2015. Now only the Wimbledon eludes him from completing a career Grand Slam. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Cricket now, and the BCCI today announced the 15-member squad for the upcoming home test series against New Zealand. In fact, 15 of the 17 players who formed the test squad for the tour of West Indies have been retained, including underperforming batsmen Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan. However, Stuart Binney and pacer Shardul Thakur were dropped from the side. Virat Kohli will continue to lead the side that will play a 3-test and 5-match one-day against New Zealand beginning the 22nd of September. The visitors will also play a 3-day practice game against Mumbai from the 16th to the 18th of September.
He is a fabulous player, immense talent he has got, but he hasn't got a longer run in the Test cricket. What we have seen with Rohit Sharma is he's picked for one Test match, then rested for say entire season, and then again picked. So selection committee, along with coach and captain, feels that whoever I'm not only naming Rohit, whoever will be picked will be given a fair amount of chances here onwards.
And let's take you through some more updates from the world of sports in Sports Beat. India's Deepa Malik created history at the Rio Paralympics today as she became the first Indian woman to bag the silver medal at the event. She bagged the medal for shot put. Her throw of 4.61 meters was the best in her 6 attempts. With her win, India's medal tally now jumps to 3. Chelsea were held to a 2-all draw by Swansea in the English Premier League. Diego Costa's first half opener was cancelled out by Gylfi Sigurdsson's penalty. Leroy Fer then put Swansea in the lead before Costa equalised with an overhead kick to salvage a point for Chelsea. Los Angeles Galaxy moved into the second place in the MLS Western Conference with a comprehensive victory over Orlando City Soccer Club. Landon Donovan came off the bench to make his first appearance for the club since coming out of retirement as his team won 4-2. Dustin Johnson recovered from a faltering start in the final round, roaring back to clinch a 3-stroke victory at the BMW Championship in Indiana. It took only 3 holes for Johnson to give up his 3-shot lead to Casey, but 4 birdies in the next 5 holes paved the way for the Americans' 12th victory on the PGA Tour. That's all we have for you on the news tonight from the entire team here. Good night.